Hello, I'm Satya Murray. Delighted to meet you all. This talk will be divided into two parts. And I hope you are safe and we all will, as I speak now, and at this time we are living in now, it's a huge crisis for everybody. And, I think it's brought so much disruption to our lives, but also our work as educators too. So, and how can we recover? How can we be resilient? And how can we recover as much as possible from this? For all of us, there is uncertainty and unpredictability, for a feeling of not being quite in control, and these are our sort of first feelings. And our spirits might dip, and we might be finding it difficult to think and of what to do, and we can be forgive for this, but then we can lift ourselves up and get on with our lives as best as we can. And in the image that you can see how the teacher and the student, that the relationship is such a vital and important relationship. It's the foundation for education. And the challenge that we all have now is where the schools are closed, and where we were remote from our student, is how can we sustain learning and teaching which is engaging, enjoyable, and worthwhile. And so, although we are now physically distant from our students, our learners, and yet we need to be as close as possible to them. So, how can remote teaching from a strong relationship and as supportive learning experience as that in the school classrooms? So, I'm just going to touch upon a number of ideas, concepts, and suggestions. Our approach is really to be as open as possible because we are learning ourselves through these challenging times. And these are the points that we have found to be, we think, useful from our experiences so far. So, first of all, I would like yourself as a teacher, do look after yourself and your loved ones. You have got to try and be in good shape physically and emotionally. Try and be as positive and optimistic as you can, because if you are not, it's going to be very difficult for you to provide and support your students. So of the day, in the day, and try and structure your day as much as possible. Establish routines, kind of keep your work and relaxation, play as it were as separate. Make sure you are very clear about the contact time you're going to have with your students. It's clearly there in the day. Remember to take breaks, get out as much as you can if you can. Get some fresh air, exercise, and what I have noticed is how much extra communication is going on, which is wonderful through social media. But need to be a little bit careful not to be overwhelmed by it. So try and kind of select those media, those websites, and so on that help you and you can trust. So be true to yourself too. Do remember, you are an experienced and ineffective teacher. You have got what it takes. Your students, they want to see and hear from you, and be guided by you. It doesn't matter, it's not face to face at the moment as the image there. It can be by video and audio, but they are going to be very appreciative for what you do, and they are going to understand the things might not work first time or every time. There may be some hiccups. It doesn't matter, as long as you keep going and you maintain and develop those relationships that you have with your students. And so it's not only about who you are as a person, but remembering that you are a professional, you are an educator, and you have the professional values and the knowledge and skills to apply in this situation. And these qualities are going to help your students to see you through this crisis, and you will be able to set a model for your all of your students. you're going to be able to kind of moderate this anxiety, going to help them to be resilient also. You can be steadfast now, or and you can have hope for the future and give them hope for all times in their life. It is okay if you don't have all the answers, but you can give yourselves and your students a real sense of purpose and directions and next steps. So in those next steps, do be realistic, and be mindful yourself and look forward for and to do the things that you can do. Just small things to be begin with. It's not everything at once. Just go day by day, week by week, and do take opportunities to learn the new things. There is opportunity for some training, learning new skills, relying on your colleagues, and don't feel you have to be perfect. It's about being proactive and getting things done, and that's going to help you developing your confidence. So set yourself expectations that you feel you can do in the short term, and then go from there onwards, bit by bit. It's good. Keep in touch. Well, it is obviously keeping in touch with your students, but also it's keeping in touch with your colleagues. It could be that you might start to feel a bit lonely when you are teaching remotely, but the truth is we are all in this together. So do keep in touch whenever possible, or with school colleagues and your buddies elsewhere, with this with educators around the world. Find out how they are getting on, what challenges are they facing, share ideas and approaches. And it's okay because no one has all the answers, but sharing and being part of the community of learning, we can develop the answers together. And it's pretty amazing, already humbling actually, to see how much initiative and real kindness that the education world is showing to each other. We are really pulling together. So you can trust your colleagues, so you can rely upon them and your school leadership and for their support. You don't have to feel you have to be heroic in this. Sure, your team spirit in your school is excellent, and that's going to really stand you in really good state. But also don't forget your students. They are going to have lots of ideas themselves about what they would like to do and how they would like to learn, and as they become more used to learning at home. Be open to them and involve them appropriately if they are going to have these ideas. Well, bring them into that, and share those ideas with them, take them on board. In the next piece of learning that you put together, show them that you are listening to them, and that's going to give them a real sense of being involved and having a bit more control over things, and that will help to develop their resilience. So be focusing on the essential and essentials. The essence of effective teaching is about knowing how to instill engagement and enjoyment learning, and it involves the cycle of practice from design through classroom teaching and the classroom in atmosphere, or abstract now assessment in evaluation.